Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a very hot Interlagos circuit. We have just gone to qualifying here in the SAL Grand Prix of Brazil. It is the final round of the season, and it's been a pretty tough season. Now, I will be joined by James Smith, but before we do that, let's just have a quick look at the championship standings heading into this final round. So Jason Ho is the champion in the lead with 118 points. In second place is Andrea Arena, and I do apologise. I had my thing on. Anyway, as you can see, the championship standings up there. James, welcome to the stream. Have you got anything to add about these standings?
No, not really. It's, I guess, quite predictable to what we would have seen at the start of the season. I mean, Jason's been on pole too many times this season to keep count. And in terms of constructors as well, pretty much what you would expect. So I'd say just roll on the race ahead.
Now, because it is a me stream and my internet is horrendous, and I'm the last one. Well, the last choice not commentator, last choice cameraman for today. Of course, we will have to apologise for the awful ping. It isn't the server; it's just my internet being weird. So once again, apologies for that. Shouldn't be too much of a difference. Anyway, so unfortunately James as well can't get into the server. He's had a few issues with that. So we will unfortunately be having to run with him on the live races. So I'm going to be doing the most descriptive commentary. And I suppose James will be our Ted Kravitz. As this is Ryan Mazumda starting his first qualifying lap. He's going to go down to third gear for the first centre S, down to the second centre S. You can see full throttle straight away, almost, and then winds the car out onto this back straight. DRS open. Braking at the 50-metre board, down to fourth gear, using all of the curb on the exit. The car really just wants to do that on this track, such a very difficult corner to take at any reasonable speed. And he's going to almost take it flat. He's going to try and take it flat. A bit of netcode there. Third gear, creeping around the rest of this circuit. Third gear opening.
To the middle section now, which is basically 3 hairpins. You just need to line yourself up as best as you can for all of them. He seems to be quite tidy.
Very tidy. We're going to come off the off-board because, of course, my internet being so weird. Nor would think he stacked it. He seemed to... wow, he is lagging a lot. Purple in the first sector, purple in the second sector. Yeah, he's not having a very fun time there, but it looks like he's made his way round the lap nicely, and he comes up to the line to set the benchmark. As Carrasco's also stacked it. Oh my goodness me, this netcode is not amazing. Right.
So
okay.
1 minute 8.2 to beat for the drivers.
I don't like to do this, but unfortunately, it's going to force me to. We will be right back. We have just got to quickly set the stream to 720p because. Welcome back. I believe we are back now. Hopefully everything will be fine. As we are back, according to the stream. Unfortunately, we have had to go down to 720p, but that should sort out any netcode issues momentarily. I hope so.
And Anthony's also come here. He's come here with a knife because he's going to kill you for doing that.
Tell me about it. No, we're still having some issues with the server. Right, okay, I'm going to have to quickly disconnect and reconnect because it is being mega weird.
Oh, this will take a while.
It won't take a while, it'll only be 2 minutes. So we will be alright. I was going to say, I never have these issues when I'm streaming. So, oh no, copyrighted music, no. That's not good. James is... oh, hang on, bear with me. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Wow, that was squeaky. Wow. We're back. Sorry about all of the issues we've had. It should be back and good now. I hope. We seem to still be having a few issues, but hopefully they'll sort themselves out for the race. As Alfie... No, they are... This is unwatchable. Wow, what is going on? I'm going to call this a server
it's
problem.
qualifying. I think we could probably get away with it because it's qualifying. We just have to report on the lap times and we should be fine.
No, you haven't seen this. This is practically unwatchable. Right, to be right back, I'm just going to have to go kick my sister off the internet.
Oh, here we go. Make sure to turn off your microphone. Tom hasn't told me if the stream has stopped working. I'm going to assume it hasn't. Currently looking at Samuel Ballas going through the third sector. And I really can't tell if he's running wide or not.
There we go. Should be fixed in a minute. Now my sister's been kicked off a phone with her friends.
There we go. Social media. It's meant to
Lovely,
be the greatest
everyone.
thing ever made.
And you'll find this is why I am the last resort cameraman. This is... The ping's gone down quite a bit, actually. Like, the ping's actually normal, but for some reason it's still messing up. Let me double check here.
I mean, it could be worse. It could be me with my 15-year-old laptop.
The thing is, the ping's actually okay, it's just everyone's still lagging.
I actually don't have enough storage to install AMS either. So this is yeah. Any donations would be appreciated, but not necessitated.
Anyway, we've got 1 minute
Messages,
and
but
30 seconds left in...
why is it worse?
1 minute 30 seconds
Yeah,
left
so
in
let's
qualifying. We haven't
let's
spoken
have a
about
little bit of a
qualifying yet.
rundown.
Yes,
we
James, you
haven't.
take us
We've
through
been
a
speaking
rundown.
about internet. Yes, so it is currently no prizes for guessing who's on pole position right now. It is Jason Ho by 0.4 of a second to Alejandro Perez. Andrea Arenas Ozone is in third place, 0.004 of a second off of a front row start, which is probably going to tick him off just a little bit. Fourth place is Ryan Mazumda, as ever, qualifying quite well, but wouldn't be a surprise to see him fall down the order in the race. Fifth place is Samuel Ballas. He'll probably be back in Formula as well. Menno de Haan on his return to the series after his win in Zandvoort seems a long time ago in sixth place. Alfie Beth in 7th, James Herrera 8th, Nicholas Carrasco in 9th, and Happy Van Klotcher for Gillett Juniors, who are leading the Constructors' Championship, not where he'd want to be in 10th place. That's your top 10.
So, as we keep trying to troubleshoot lovely AMS internet, you have no idea what's going on. It was fine last week. Anyway, Jason Ho on pole, as James said.
I do apologise if I'm having some microphone popping noises. I need to get a new one.
Somewhere on the circuit is Jason Ho. In the crowd, apparently.
Well, he's coming
back
up to
into
the
pit.
line.
He decides to pit.
Once
again,
he
we
was
do...
very far down in Sector 2, sorry to cut you off there. 38.9, which is about 4 seconds slower than than what you'd like to be. So that'll be his qualifying done.
Magnus Bohr has stacked it. Yes, apparently. Okay.
Just a very good one more thing.
Okay, no.
One more thing to note. It's very good to see.
If I apologise to cut you off there, James.
No
Luckily,
problem.
it isn't my internet that's messing up. Apparently, other people are having issues with the server.
Okay. I blame Ryan Mazumda.
I blame Anthony. Hashtag blame Anthony.
No, I'm not blaming Ryan Mazumda.
I'm
because
joking, Anthony.
He doesn't deserve.
Correct.
He doesn't deserve all the hate he gets. But I would like to say one thing. It's very nice to see Ron Square on the grid today after all the problems he's had.
Yes,
The
and
last week or so, he's made
we do
a
wish
detailed video about it.
we do wish former
if you'd like.
commentator Ron Squire the very best in his recovery. Really sad to see that news, but
Yeah.
at least he's in good spirits and okay, and on the grid today, which is the most important thing. Well, second most
And
important.
He's qualified in 13th, which is not last, so that's something
I
at
mean,
least.
not
But
bad for someone who's been in
our
hospital
only
all
way
week.
is forwards, I guess. Yeah, but it is Jason Ho who has taken his 1,000th, probably, pole position. Even though there's only been 8 races, he might as well have 1,000 because I can't even count how many times he's been on pole. Joining him on the front row is Alejandro Perez. There were no changes to the top 4, but Alfie Bevan managed to shoot his car up into 5th place, so he starts on the 3rd row. Sid Kumar got his Excentra into 10th place right at the death as well. His teammate Diogo Moscato will be starting from the pit lane after incidents last time out. But that's qualifying, unless there's anything else to add.
Apart from the server lagging, which once again is not my internet. Before everyone goes and moans, oh, there's been a message in administration chat. I'm not going to read it out on stream, obviously, but we have gone to the warm up session here. Oh my god, there's a fly on my face. Just landed on my blooming nose. I'd love to see it. Anyway, I do apologise for the lacklustre commentary. I wasn't meant to be wasn't meant to be doing the cameras. Yes. Okay. At least it's not me. Paranoid after Melbourne about my internet. Right, because we haven't had much of a stream, James, do you mind if we run through warm-up?
I'm sorry, you cut out there.
Oh, I was going to say, do you mind if we run through warm-up and sort of discuss the championship?
Yes, I do not mind at all. I just need to get the championship up. I'm on my PC today instead of my iPad, so hopefully things will be easier to manoeuvre.
His PC, the lovable £2 potato, that iconic.
Yeah. For those who don't know, my Canadian cousin saw this identical model in a boot sale on his street. This was about a few months ago, and he bought it for $2 Canadian, which is about $1.40, I'd say.
Or
in British money, that's just over £1.
In the superior currency, it's about 2p. I think you'll find. Canadian not being worth much, actually. Apologies to the Canadians in the stream. Anyway.
Ryan is going to run you over.
Or, more likely, blow his engine in the process. Anyway.
Now, watch out for those pit walls, Ryan.
Oh, we're so harsh. We're so harsh on Ryan. He's a very talented driver. He just needs to sort of...
He does take it well. He really takes it well.
Okay, so updates on the server issues. We're supposed to be talking about the thing that's on the screen right now, but server issues. Sean having the issues as well, Menno Dahan having the issues. I am glad that it's not my internet, which means me going down to 720p and being such a beta streamer. It probably wasn't actually that necessary. Me finally proving the point to Sean that it is his server that is the problem, and not me.
Yeah, if we finally stop mumbling and look at the championship now.
Yes,
it's
championship. 1 second.
Jason Ho, 100% podium record for the first 4 races. Of course, in Zandvoort, he had a massive crash in the last sector and still finished on the podium. Canada, I can't remember what happened. And since then, it's been a 4th place at Monza and a win in Spa. It's been very controlled from him. He's racing in Formula as well. I think next season he will, even if there is a lights category, move on full-time to Formula. Andrea Arena came into the season for Ozone. I guess they didn't have too many expectations, but he's plopped his car second in the championship. He might still lose that if Javi van der Klotje has he'll need quite a miracle because he's starting in 10th. Will need to outscore Arena by 17 points to take 18 points because he has 1 win less, but 2 wins for Arena, 1 for Van der Klotje, and actually GP Juniors lead the Constructors' Championship by 24 points from Abstineo Lights, which is the team that Jason drives for. He and teammate, I think it's Menno Dahan today, driving in the other AFP. It's a good lineup for them, and it's a good starting position for them, 1st and 6th. If it's not AFP, Anthony, please tell me now, before I go on too long.
If you don't mind me, James, 1 second, sorry.
Yes.
Speaking of AFP, or Aspentino, which is the correct pronunciation. Oh dear, that's a server crash. Oh dear. Oh, I'm not administrator either. 9. Yes, servers had a very massive issue. Anyway, speaking of AFP, they had Spa, the 24 Hours of Spa yesterday.
Yes, and they, I believe they finished the race.
They finished, but Jacob Reed unfortunately took my advice about Eau Rouge being flat. I joked to him before his stint. I said, just make sure that on worn tyres, Eau Rouge and Radeon, because I'm weird and call it our server being restarted. Okay, we're just going to quickly leave the server there. And I am going to get copyright strikes for the music, just while I turn it down. But, yes.
Yeah, I mean...
1 second.
If your video is bad enough, YouTube will recommend and then eventually enforce changes to audio and quality and stuff. But I don't think it's gone that low. But back to the championship, if we may. I'd honestly say one of the... Gila GP have been so consistent this season. They've had both drivers attend every race except 2. They're 3rd and 4th in the championship. Full Spanish lineup. They're within 6 points of each other. And I'd say they've been probably the biggest surprise of the season. Because coming into it, no one really expected the junior cars to be at the front every race. Another surprise, I'd say, Carl Magnus Bohr has done a stellar job, considering he's only done 4 races to be 6th in the championship, get a podium as well. I think he's been quite surprising. That's not to say he's a bad driver. I don't mean that in a malicious way. Carl Magnus, I just think you've had a very, very surprisingly clean, good season. Sean Jones, 5th in the prime. I mean, he's attended every race. He's never finished on the podium, and he's starting, I think, 14th today. So hopefully, for him, for his sake, he can get that car up into a good position. But the podium looks pretty out of reach. Ryan Mazumda, though, is probably the story of the season because of how much practice he does for every race. He got a DNF P11 and a DNF despite taking a pole position and qualifying in the top 5 in every one of those races. Didn't make the start for Zandvoort, DNF'd again at his home race, and then finally got a finish. There's another 11th place at Monza, and then after 7 long weeks of hard work, he finally got the podium he was after. Last time out of Spa before in Formula, he crashed into the pit wall. So you've got to take your wins with your losses.
I honestly feel really... Well, I wouldn't say I feel bad for Ryan. No offence, Ryan. But looking at Ryan's... we've got the thing up on stream here. Looking at his DNF 11th, DNS 11th, 2nd, it's been a really, really disappointing season for Ryan. Of course, he had that abhorrent Le Mans race as well on R-Factor 2 that I'm still a little bit annoyed over. That it was in ELRC. Of course, the race getting red flagged in the end. I know you were meant to commentate on that one, James, in the morning, because according to you, you were hammered during the day.
I was supposed to be. In the end, I was a pussy and didn't drink much. But no, haven't had a drunk experience just yet.
James, really?
It's been 15 days.
James really taking advantage of the Luxembourg low minimum age to drink.
I'll tell you what, it's more Europe. It's just the UK has to be special and have it higher than everybody else, and then there's America.
Anyway, thank you. Thankfully, that means that YouTube now, we cannot be made for kids. So, complying with COPA by talking about alcohol. Oh, dear. Oh, no, we're back.
Well, I mean...
Everything crashed for a second there. Right, I need to get back on.
I will say one more thing about the constructors. It is actually possible for 3 teams to win it today. Gillett Juniors in first, Abstaneo Lights in second, and Ozone Motorsport in third. Ozone, if they win the Constructors' Championship, that's 3 out of 4 championships won this season. The only one they wouldn't have won would be the Drivers' Championship in Lights, which has been won by Jason Ho and AFP. Also a battle for 5th place in the championship between Mazumda Motorsports and Exenza and Ecto Sim Sports Racing Team, all within 11 points of each other and all fighting for that top 5 place. All have drivers present today. So it'll be interesting to see how that one pans out. And actually, I was very wrong about the AFP constructors. Menadahan does not drive for AFP. He drives for Ecto Esports. In fact, Jason Ho has contributed 100% of the points that AFP have gathered in the constructors. So you might as well rename it to Jason Ho. So Jason Ho is 24 points off Gillett Juniors and 12 points ahead of Ozone Motorsports in the Constructors' Championship.
Very much reminds me of my team's first ever season in Vowels. We had me ending up doing a lot of the season. Anthony giving us some very concerning news in admin chat. I'm not actually allowed to read out what he's put, obviously, but it's not looking good, is all I can say, for the future of this race.
Seems it was a full server restart, and I would presume that things haven't gone too smoothly.
Yes, it's not amazing.
Server is back up. Server is back up, for those wondering. A couple of people accessing the spreadsheet now that we've taken it off. No, it is not a red flag, Chillin. We had just finished qualifying, and to the stream, we decided to do a server restart. The servers was not running too smoothly, so we have restarted. That, once everything is sorted, we will be underway. There's no red flag.
We actually have
might well be.
We have a guest.
No red flag.
We have a guest who wants to come in. Christian, a driver, has joined waiting for interviews. Hello, Christian. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hello. So, you're one of the drivers, and I thought actually it'd be pretty useful to bring you in as you're waiting for stream interview. Now, obviously, the server ran into some issues, and I do apologise having to juggle my push to talk with my typing hand here. So obviously, servers ran into some issues, unfortunate there. As a driver, of course, you've qualified. Are you? What's your thoughts now? Because obviously, you're ready for the race. You've done all your pre-race prep. What does this wait add to sort of the preparations? Does it make it more difficult?
No. I mean, I finally found a good setup, which is good. I don't know if it's fast, but I'm on pace with some other guys, and not like 500 seconds slower than at Spa last time.
Okay, right, so I do apologise again, everyone. James, if you take over the sort of interview for a second, I have got to go and discuss this in the admin chat about what we are going to do.
You have chucked me under a quadruple decker bus right here.
Only
Bloody hell.
Only the most chucks of buses here.
Only the reddest. I mean, yeah, sure. I don't really have any questions to add other than what are your aims for the race? You're starting at the back. Only way is forwards, I guess.
I got a good penalty anyway, so. I mean,
what do you think the strategy will be? 1 stop, 2 stop? I mean, if Silverstone's anything to speak, it'll be a 10-stop race, but I don't think that will happen.
Yeah, I don't know. Let me look. Never was in a broadcast, so yes.
So, in other news, the server is back up. How successful it has been in fixing the netcode, I will not know. I'll sort of say what I'm allowed to say from the admin chat. The biggest TLDR seems to be that, well, we don't know what's going on. It seems to be that very much an AMS problem kind of thing, because the actual server is running the game fine. It's only using 22% of the CPU. So it could be any reason, really, at this stage. So we're just kind of waiting on any information we can get. I'm going to quickly type in the admin password here.
I mean, Tom, you asked our interviewee what it's like in the build-up to a race. Does it add more tension? Honestly, I can say it doesn't really when it's this long. You want to get racing, obviously, but as long as everyone is in the same boat, there's no real extra pressure.
I'd say when it comes to...
I mean...
Sorry, James, for cutting you off. I'm reading...
Oh, no, I don't know what I was saying. I blanked. Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, because of Le Mans... I'm going to try and tangent again. No, because of Le Mans, when we got 4 hours in, I'd done my stint. Not as successful as I would perhaps liked, but that's not important. Oh, dear. Right, I'm going to put this thing on so people can see. 1,500 ping for Andrea, Alfie Bevan, Alessandro Perez, sorry. Anyway. Waiting, because obviously that had server issues as well, more of an RF2 problem than the actual server itself. Waiting that hour or so, because obviously we got to the point where my dad was about to get into the car for his first ever stint. And the server suddenly had issues.
Story time with Tom Dillon.
Well, you know full well that if I can't talk about anything, it's story time.
Here we go at Le Mans.
Oh.
Normally, as the saying goes, if you don't know what to say, keep your mouth shut. But we'll have an exception, sure.
Apart from in commentary when like your job is to not keep your mouth shut.
That's true.
But no, so my dad was about to get into the car. We were ready for the stint, and then obviously the race was stopped, and we had this massive wait, and the tension was building because everyone was sort of not in the know as to what's going on. It's different here as I'm in the admin chat, so I can see what is going on. And I'm doing my best to give you guys in chat and stuff updates on what is happening. We've been going for 24 minutes in the stream only. It seems like forever.
Sorry, just to cut you off. This news just in: the race has been officially postponed by 20 minutes. So the race will get underway at 5:50 Central European Summertime. That's 4:50 British summertime. So 20 minutes, and then these drivers will have 10 minutes to get into the server. And if they can't make it in, they will not be able to race because we are tight on the schedule. But that's just been announced by Anthony Nickbon, the owner of this league. So it's, I guess, 20 minutes of story time with Tom Dillon at the worst.
This is turning into a Le Mans commentary in itself. But no, we were waiting.
Yes, it is.
Everyone was kind of not in the know.
Do a crofty. Sorry, Jake in the chat. Do a crofty and talk about baked beans. Oh, yeah, I wanted to shoot myself when that happened. Can I believe that a grown man is on Formula One commentary duty is talking about baked beans at his grand's house? I mean, seriously?
Well, clearly James vouching for the Formula One job himself. If you're watching FOM, hello. I mean, I think a James Smith-Tom Dillon duo flying around the world wouldn't be too bad. On the fastest motorsport TV, of course, maybe a radio commentary we'd be demoted to. As long as the flights are paid, of course. I mean, I don't mind doing it in my lovely garage here. Better than nothing. Anyway. Oh my goodness, imagine that. 6-year-olds crying that they didn't win the pinata during a Formula One commentary. That would be interesting. Anyway, the thing I find about the Le Mans thing was obviously no one was really in the know as to what was happening, and everyone was kind of just sitting around doing laps, and it was very much a case of don't blow your engine. We've still got 20 hours to go, and it's sort of when it was dawned on us that there is 20 hours to go. We've got a lot to do here. There's more driving ahead. Like, the race isn't even a quarter of the way through. Whereas, at least with this, you don't feel like any of your work's on the line, apart from qualifying. You kind of just feel that if the race gets underway, it gets underway. There's nothing to play for in the championship. You know, you haven't got this, we want to finish Le Mans on the agenda. Yeah. I think there's a lot less pressure, which is probably what Christian's talking about. There, it doesn't really matter if the race is underway.
Also, you have to bear in mind that there's a big difference between server issues before a race starts and in the middle of a race. Because in the middle of the race, you want to have your position. You want to know. You can pretty quickly gather that the server's crashed. If everyone's suddenly on Discord and spamming, I lost connection, or questioning if the server crashed, it's crashed. But then you have to sort out positions. You don't know if you're going to get back underway, if they're going to call the results. So yeah, it's a much more strenuous time if you have a unprecedented server interruption mid-race than if you would at the start. Because here we can still go racing. We can still, everyone's positions are locked in because we have the qualifying results. So there's no uncertainty, really.
And I suppose as well, when there's a server issue in the middle of the race, you're in your rhythm, you're controlling the race, you know what's going on, and then all of a sudden to say, no, we've got to stop it. You're dragged out of this rhythm. There's suddenly the pressure that you need to get back into that rhythm as soon as possible. Whereas obviously, apart from a qualifying rhythm, you're not really in a rhythm. Live timing won't be working. That's a bit damning for us. Lovely. Anyway. Oh, James,
not ideal, especially for me.
I'm going to have to give a commentary to James as well as everything else, but...
oh, yes. I mean, I did the PST race at Catalonia, watching Anthony's Twitch stream, which was 5 seconds off lifetime. And I think I did a pretty good job because Ernest was in the Discord saying I did a good job, even without the knowledge of that. But we'll try, I guess.
Trouble is, we've got because the thing is, I've set up the Fastest Motorsports sort of streams here to have normal latency because I thought I'd rather have extra quality than just have than have like a live view. So our stream's naturally about 30 seconds behind. That's just how it works. That's how I've set it up because, as I said, I'd rather have the quality. It doesn't matter if it's live, unless you've got Discord open and everything like that.
I mean, when I wasn't commentating lights, I was always typing in chat like, oh, something's happened, and then forgetting that I'm 30 seconds ahead of everybody else and spoiling the race. That was at Zandvoort, I think it was, and I got quite a few messages saying, "Shop."
A little bit cheaty, I suppose, from me. But I do stay in the broadcast chat for all of the Formula races, just because if anything goes wrong, I can sort it there and then. And also, I actually quite like hearing the commentary whilst I'm racing. Because, like the Jason Heron Ryan incident from Spa 2 weeks ago. I heard about that. Because I don't have a hood on my AMS. I run with literally just my steering wheel and my MFD. So I don't know my gaps. So I kind of just heard, oh my god, oh my goodness, Ryan's crashed. And I was like, oh, that's lovely. Lucky for me.
Andy's collected Jason.
Andy's collected.
But also, when was it at Zandvoort? I think it was again at Zandvoort. You said, oh, I had this question on my mind. Is this guy going to pit, or where is he ahead of me? And then, well, you had it in your mind, and I ended up answering it a couple seconds later because you're in the voice chat, of course. And I mentioned his
I was like
position update. So I mean, it always helps to be in the voice chat if you can be.
I
if
wouldn't
you're not put off by shouting.
I wouldn't call it a cheat either, because I mean most drivers have that gap anyway. It's just I'm just in the voice chat, kind of making sure everything's okay with the stream. It's not like, oh, the new IP's been released, I believe. No, it's...
Just like to quickly say thank you to Menno and Halil for saying that they enjoyed the Le Mans 5-hour commentary. That's pretty motivating. All we're trying to do is entertain as much as we can whilst having a bit of fun ourselves.
It was pretty.
So it is nice to get some... It's nice to get some compliments, but yeah, Le Mans was pretty really damn good, I'd have to say.
I enjoyed it. I kind of wish, though, now that I'd figured out the FPS issues on our factor. It turns out it's the 4GB patch and running on 16-bit accidentally.
Yeah.
But, because I feel like that would have been a lot more successful. But it was pretty fun, to be honest. OEC, of course, quick plug, is actually coming back. I have revived it as a meme league. But I don't know if you want to be on commentary for that, James.
Well, it depends on my internet. Can I finish a race? For those who don't know, my lowest qualifying position OEC was P7. I did, I think, 5 or 6 races. Finished one of them because every other time my internet decided it was going to just leave. And the worst one was definitely Sebring. 3-hour race. I'd done 2.5 hours completely solo. Was chasing down the AFPs ahead of me for 3rd place, and everything froze. And then everyone disappeared off the minimap, and I got really scared. And I come up to the line and cut the timing beam, and it said connection lost. And I just put my head to the desk and kept it there for a solid 2 minutes.
I quite liked OEC because it was sort of, it sort of fell pretty nicely for quarantine. I started off with my, obviously, more potato than currently PC, and I was awfully slow, like horrifically slow. And then as OEC went on, I've sort of built up my pace to finally be a kind of competitive driver in all of these leagues. And it kind of fell nicely for me, because I sort of had Bathurst, where suddenly there was this click where it's like, oh my, I'm actually half decent here, holding P5, pretty nice. And then obviously we had Paul Ricard, where I didn't do too well, but that was because the game lost me a lap. And I did crash, I did flip the car on a straight, but rather than shutting my window during a thunderstorm that I knew was coming, it was because there was a bug with the track where, like, if you hit a traffic cone rather than just, I was running it close to the curb.
Traffic cones. Oh, crikey.
Yeah, I hit a traffic cone and it flipped me into the air, like,
The traffic... Okay, I hit one as well. I was fiddling with my traction control system, and I accidentally left it off through turn 1, thinking I'd be fine. Anyway, even if I hadn't done it by accident, I wasn't. I hit a bump and spun into one of those cones, which had the properties of a boulder. So there went 10 kilometers an hour of top speed, right there, because I hit a piece of plastic. R-factor logic. And that was the race pretty much done. I mean, my internet disconnected me anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered, but
Yes, I ended up, I suppose it's kind of passing of the guard for me. I kind of, I was a lap down, and then I ended up sort of being, I ended up sort of being pushing really hard for the last hour, and ended up finishing 10th after being last and a lap down 45 minutes before, which I thought was pretty fun. Very much a case of strategy.
9 minutes.
9 minutes.
9 minutes to go until the race should hopefully get underway. I mean, with all the problems we've had today, it wouldn't be the biggest of shocks if it didn't, but we are certainly hoping that it does so. The server should be back up now. Tom can double check that.
I will check. I don't know how to make it so that I haven't got an IP.
So the drivers have 10 minutes to get into the server, which should be plenty. Even I can get into it in that time with my internet. But I am finally using an Ethernet cable, so my internet should not only be more consistent, but faster.
I have got to figure out a way to go into... Right, so what's happened is, I've got my... Oh, there we go. Figured out, I just had to click internet. I was connected directly by the IP of the server, SRL Lights. Let's go. Hopefully the admin password is the same. But, we've got a race on. We are racing. And I think now is unfortunately the time. We're going to have to say goodbye to Christian. Thank you for joining us in the commentary box for this sort of period. Good luck.
I forgot it was there, sorry.
Good luck with the race, and we will see you at the end of it. Hopefully, when you get a podium.
I would like to say. I'd like to say one thing. I don't know why, but obviously the Extensa Twitter account has been very dormant. Our last post before yesterday was on the 22nd of June, posted for the first time in over a month yesterday. And the two posts about SRL both have been fine, but the two ESRS ones haven't got a single reaction to them yet. Better them. I don't get why. I mean, yeah, I do, but at the same time, let's show ESRS some love. Oh no, we got a server problem, Tom.
I joined and it
Brace
eventually said
yourselves.
connection lost. Oh, don't work.
Oh,
I can't see
here we go.
Oh.
Okay, there's a couple of problems here with the drivers as well. Oh dear.
This is why. I mean, actually, I'd say this is why we're moving to R Factor 2. R Factor 2 is 10 times less stable than this.
I joined into test server and got kicked out. Oh dear.
That's what happened to me.
I don't know whose server this is. I think it's Sean's.
It's Jeff's.
Okay, server was turned off as warm-up was turned off. So that... Okay, so it seems there was a problem that was not huge and very easily fixable. I mean, Jeff is currently offline on Discord.
I think he's appearing offline.
He should be back. Oh, no, we can check, actually. Let me
Or
just have a
sleeping
look.
after Spa. Now, I was meant to drive for him at Spa. I was really annoyed. The reason I didn't drive for him was because I didn't have the specific pack he needed. I could have got it, but it would basically mean running my entire wallet dry. And then literally a day before the race, the pack goes on sale, meaning I could have raced. Which is lovely. Which is lovely. So I was kind of watching that Spa race, kind of like, oh, I should be there. I should be in the car now. And very tired today.
If you're a viewer on the TFM or you just joined us, if you would like more action later today, join us in an hour and 15 minutes. We will bring to you coverage of the Formula SAL race, also the finale of the season, which is the main series in SRL. We're currently watching the feeder series of that Lights, which will get underway in just over 5 minutes. Time, there is no ESRS today, though. The track was deemed to have not been ready in time, not properly tested, so that race has been made the mid-season break, I guess. Just time to regroup and hopefully come back stronger for the league in its final season. So today, just SRL races to bring to you.
So we are back on the server. I'll get my sensor button off. Menadahan asks, are we DDoSed? I doubt it. I doubt it's a DDoS attack. I don't know what person would just... Oh,
it's the James Smith bingo, and Jake is asking you to make a new one. Okay, well, let's see. Mentions extends has happened. There's been no cliches yet. There's been no mentions of Luxembourg yet. I'm holding out.
why have we gone to race? Restart.
I've gone to
Oh,
race.
sensor button. Sensor. Oh. That was anticlimactic. So no, I doubt it'd be a DDoS attack. I mean, who would DDoS a Automobilista League in its first
yeah.
season?
Yeah. You wouldn't want to DDoS something like this. No, it's nowhere near big enough. No offense to anyone who runs SRL, but it's not big enough to DDoS. There's no point to it.
I mean, why would you...
It takes quite a bit of effort to do it.
I mean... Can't say I've ever done it, but I'd say it takes quite a bit of effort. Is probably the wrong word.
Well, okay. Yeah, that was the wrong word.
It takes about 5 minutes out of your day, and I don't know why you would do that. Is what James is trying to say. As I said,
it's 5 minutes you could spend doing anything else.
it's like, I mean, you know, for a start, everyone who DDoSes thinks they're a master hacker. For typing git clone into their terminal. So I doubt they'd want to do
Alex Hallows in the stream chat. Alex Hallows in the stream chat is praising your speed on the sensor bar, Tom.
I've got good at it.
What do
And
you
the
have
thing
to
is,
say
it's
to that?
difficult. I have to take my hand off of my wheel, which has got my push to talk, press the P button, whilst doing the cameras. Very difficult, very difficult. So we're waiting to join the game again. This has been a 41-minute stream, and we've had
With
a lot of
a
issues.
qualifying session.
A lot of issues. A qualifying session we didn't actually talk about qualifying.
This has been MRTI. No, sorry, not MRTI. OEC MRTI 5-hour Le Mans without the on-track action so far. But just before we get going,
I'm glad I
quickly
convinced you to
run
commentate.
through. Yes, I mean, I was thinking I should. If I'm honest, I was downstairs in my dining room because my room upstairs did not have internet for some reason. That was the only place I could go to get internet. So I had a few issues being in a house with other people in it, as you do. And yeah, live races is completely finished now, so I think I'm in I'm in a bit of a deep end right now. I would love to check for you, Alex, if your drivers are in, but I can't because live races does not exist. Maybe Tom can tell you if he's in the server.
Well, it's a 50-50. Anthony says he's going to batch the warm up. Master hacker move to do /batch. Anyway, this is going to really give us some consequences for the formula race. I don't have a setup for that. I mean, I do, but it's on the other cars. As have we got a decent
the
server
formula
thing?
race certainly compromised. I think it should still be able to be done on time, but not in the way that we would have wanted it, certainly. But we have a race lined up for lights as well. Let's just hope everything goes smoothly from here on in.
Okay, so ping's back down. Oh dear. Eventful. Restart. Anyway, we will be going to the race momentarily, and it's better. It's not perfect, but it's better.
I mean, my drivers currently can't get into the server, so that's a bit of a problem. For us.
I mean, netcode's still not amazing, but better than no stream at all.
Jason Ho seems to have made it into the server completely fine.
Yes.
The pole sitter.
Bear with me. I'm going to check my ping again.
Oh, we can talk about the race a little bit and where all the action is going to be. If you ask me, it's going to be very simple. Turns 1 and 4 will be probably the only places that we'll see overtakes, because you have to be very opportunistic to go for it in the middle and third sectors. Normally in the third sector you don't want to go for an overtake because you'll get DRS down the back straight. The other driver, if you pass them before the detection line, will get DRS down you on this enormous back straight, as well as a hefty slipstream. So it's normally better just to sit in behind. In the middle sector, it's very slow, it's very flowing, so it's quite difficult to pull off overtakes.
First turn as well,
there.
it's barely a braking zone in these modern cars. These V6 turbo hybrid Formula 1 cars. It's
It has gotten faster, yeah.
It's you brake after the 50-meter board in certain scenarios.
I mean, it used to be a pretty tight corner before we went to this these 2017 onwards regulations cars, where now they're taking everything a lot faster. You could probably get away with taking it in 5th gear if you're feeling adventurous, but 4th will certainly do. In the old cars, 2nd and 3rd gears were the only ones you ever dream of taking the SN or S through. Having said that, there were less gears on those cars.
Or if you're Senna taking everything in 6th.
Yeah, if you're Senna taking everything in 6th. And almost collapsing on the podium. What a day that was.
He says whilst not being alive on that day.
Anyway, it is currently 4:52 British time. This race should be getting underway very, very shortly. We thank our current viewers for bearing with us for so long. We should be underway very shortly.
Yes, riding on board
We're
with
just
Ryan
still waiting
Mazumdar
for a
now.
couple of drivers.
Canada's finest sim racer.
I think we're just waiting for. It seems that some of the cars in the mod are not capable of. You're not capable of joining the server with those cars. So it seems that anyone who has that problem has to identify it and then quickly switch to a different car. So if we do see a team such as this is the Mazumdar Motorsports car we're looking at, so let's say someone else uses it, we will quickly say that that is not the team they're racing
Yes,
for.
I'll just say people have to
I've got my
if you
spreadsheet.
bear with me 1 second. I'm going to tell people they are free to use the reading game if they need to.
I don't think they're going to ask you, frankly, because you can't. I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to specially fly out to their house and give them a telling off? No. So...
I will personally knock on the door and say, no, my car. I demand you £5. £5 and a packet of quavers, and you will not use my car again.
The two most common responses, considering we're in an international community, would be one, what are quavers and what's a pound, and two, who's this small kid who just turned up to my door? So I don't think that would go too well. But anyway, I believe the session has changed.
We have a race on our hands.
So now I will pass the lead commentary on to Tom for no reasons other than I am not in the server. Live races is
And
down,
look at
so
this
I'm
beautiful 200 ping we're on for a second there.
I am very relying on Tom's commentary to help me here and the stream as well. So I'll just be...
Tom is officiating now without admin permissions. Let me just quickly fix that. Somehow, I have never actually shown an admin password on stream, to my knowledge. Anyway, we'll be waiting for the formation lap as I find as it gets underway. Jason Ho has started the formation lap here in this SAL Light Grand Prix of Interlagos. A 23-lap adventure around this famous old circuit. Of course, home to that amazing drive, as you mentioned earlier, from Senna when he was stuck in 6th gear, almost collapsing on the podium, as James mentioned. Also, another action zone, that famous middle sector, where, of course, Alexander Albon and Lewis Hamilton came together, costing Albon his first ever Formula 1 podium, and in the long run, perhaps his Red Bull drive. There are 3 tyres available today. I assume the soft, the super soft, the soft, and the medium tyres. Jason Ho starting on the yellow-walled soft. Not quite as unreliable as the Pirelli tyres from today in real life.
Hopefully not.
We hope. But Jason Ho...
I mean, in all seriousness, I think all those punctures were caused by Kimi's wing, because as soon as that starts rubbing against the tyre, it's shredding pieces of it off, front wing and the tyre. So there's rubber and carbon fibre all over the circuit. So I think those punctures were more caused by that front wing than anything else.
Jason Ho now ready to take up his grid slot. The champion ready to start what he will hope is a champion's drive. So James, top 3 predictions for today's race.
Ho is going to have a poor start, and the junior behind him will take the lead momentarily, but he's going to fight back and take the win from the junior car behind him. And I think
we are ready.
I'm going to have a bit of a shot in the dark here and I'm going to go for Alfie Bevan for 3rd place.
Okay, so as the grid forms up behind us, everyone doing little bit burnouts, getting their tyres up to temperature. This is Automobilista, so your tyres get up to temperature very quickly, whether you like it or not. Everyone ready for the final round of the SAL Light season. What a season it has been. The Ascensa car actually having trouble getting to his grid slot there, as we wait for the lights. It's been a long road to get here, and it's going to be a long wait to the lights, it seems.
Might seem to have had a bit of a problem on the formation lap, so he's a bit slow to get to his grid slot there. As
we still wait. And it's a very long wait. And we are going to the lights. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. It's been a decent start from Jason Ho. Actually, and no, it's been a better start from Alessandro Perez, heading into the San S's for the first time. You can see everyone sort of filing through there. James, however, taking to the escape road there for a second. There's been a bit of an incident with Vanna Klotcher having a bit of a half spin, and not ideal for me. This is Jason Ho trying to fight back against Alejandro Perez into one of the fastest corners on the circuit. It's going to be a really adventurous move, and he's not going to quite be able to make it. There's flat spotty tyres, the super soft tyres from one of the Exo Sim Racing cars behind. And now Jason Ho heading through the middle sector, trying to fight this dirty hair with Alejandro Perez. The car wanting to step out as Alejandro Perez actually does take a wider, deeper line into there. And now, this is a brilliant battle for the lead so far. Jason Ho keeping his footing. They're somehow not collecting each other. This is a very Albon Hamilton move. And this time Jason Ho actually is able to make that move that Hamilton wasn't able to do back in 2019. Back into the lead. And James Herrera has spun, looking to not collect anyone there as everyone else files through nicely. What a first lap that has been, James Smith.
Well, yeah, I told you Ho was not going to get the best of starts and immediately dropped behind Perez, but then he just seemed to have a bit of an issue coming into the braking zone.
Oh, what a move from Menno to hand! No, Menno's taking him out! Menno is taken out! Jason Owen, one of the Mazumda cars is involved in that incident. The Gillette GP is involved in that incident. Horrendous driving from Menno to hand there. Went for a move that was never on, and Jason Owen's down to 8th place.
I mean, Perez has gone into the lead, so that's brilliant for the GGP's constructors. Bids and but the other car getting involved in that incident there, and that is all on Menno de Haan, I'm afraid. Just outbraked himself and tried to avoid an accident. Honestly, he should have tried to go through the middle of them, because Ho was never going to be able to stop turning and avoid an accident there, and he's down in 8th place now. But yeah, back to the start. Perez getting the jump on him, but then seeming to run wide through turn 7, just missing his braking point, and that allowed Ho straight back through in that flowing section. The bit of contact at turn 1 on the first lap, I mean, that's pretty expectable contact there, and it looked like Menno de Haan was really going for it on the first lap. We saw him moving all over the place around the back of the guys ahead of him, trying to find a way through, and then he eventually found the gap and just overcooked it, I'm afraid, and that is probably going to be a hefty penalty coming his way.
As I do excuse, James Van Klotch is going to get past Christian Steiger, who's in the commentary box earlier, and Steiger on the outside is just unable to get the speed to fend off that attack from the Gillette GP car, one of the most consistent cars on the grid. DRS has been enabled, and Jason is going to sail around the outside of the CNRS. What a move from the Irishman.
Well, doing what he does best, just constantly proving why he's the champion. Max Verstappen-esque in the wet. He just got such better drive out of the corner. He's not even on the softer tyre there. I think Steiger actually has the tyre advantage there, so just better grip on the exit. And going back up into 7th place, and he'll be looking to do his Zandvoort and have a very impressive recovery drive, which is entirely possible. The leader's not too far ahead of him, so if he keeps it out of trouble, he should be able to get back through. Samuel Ballas, 3rd place for TR Bluebirds. That'd be a mega result for them.
He's looking forward. This is going to be the DRS from Alejandro Perez. Andrea Arena, fresh from a fit of rage after he was taken out in Spa and all. Van Klotch is going to go for a very... Perez is going to go for a very adventurous move. Not quite pull it off, but now he's going to have the DRS down this straight. Hoping that he can pull this off. I think he's going to. What? This is going to show you how good that DRS is. Unfortunately, animation issues with the DRS. And picture perfect move from him. This is Balaz on Arena now. Arena going backwards more than he's gone forwards so far. Sitting duck,
I mean, yeah,
really.
That's the nature of the first few corners. If you can get somewhat alongside through the first corner, you'll then have a nicer switchback through the second part. And then just wait for the DRS and wait for the opportunity. It seems that Arena's using a more low downforce setup, because he was quite quick on the front straight, not so much the second straight, the back straight, because he had the car right behind him with DRS and slipstream assistance. But it's a theme of Arena's to run lower downforce. I wouldn't be surprised if he is. Having said that, he did keep with Perez very well through the middle sector, and now he has a great chance of retaking the lead.
A couple of these guys struggling with mid-corner oversteer throughout that previous sector, which is a telltale sign in Automobilista of a low downforce setup. They really handle like boats on low downforce. Lovely on maximum downforce, but on low downforce you get so much mid-corner oversteer that it's so easy to lose the car. As Arena has DRS, but he's going to opt to not use it, weirdly.
I think he's just... I don't think he believes he can go for that move into turn 4. He's a bit
Jason
further
Ho
back. Not much further back than Perez was in the last lap, but Ho going into the thick of the action once again.
7th position, and he's trying. He's all over the back of Van Klotch. Unable to get a move on him as of yet. Anthony Nickbon complaining about your microphone. James?
Yeah. Every time I touch the cable, it has that static, so I have to sit at an angle. It's quite uncomfortable, but we'll progress.
What a
with it.
move from Jason Ho. Again, apologies to cut you off, but around the outside, picture perfect from him. Ron Squire next in a lofty P5. It is so lovely to see Ron Squire, through all the trouble he's had this week, sitting in P5 in this race. Of course,
And I hope he can hold on to a good position as well.
I doubt he's
It's
going to
been
hold on to the
fantastic.
P5 though, with this charging bull of Jason Ho using only half braking into turn 1. He's going to have to go very defensive to hold on to this position, as he does go defensive. But Jason's going to have too much for him with that DRS. And in fact, it's Vanna Klotcher that might be next for Ron Squire. Ron's going to have to look in his mirrors.
Can be quite misleading, the route to turn 4, because the DRS is actually, the straight for the DRS is quite small, but of course you have to remember you get on the power at the exit of turn 2 and don't stop until turn 4, so you have more time to build up speed and slipstream than just with a DRS.
Bit of contact
now
there.
taking through middle sector, probably difficult here for Vanna Klotcher.
As I said, there's a bit of contact there, but Vanna Klotcher's full outbraking himself when it came to against Ron Squire. Alejandro Perez is in the lead, a 2-second gap. Really been performing very well in these last few races.
One of the more consistent drivers, and Ballas has got up to second place actually. So they've both got past Andrea Arena now, and Arena's a bit further back, so he must have had
really struggling.
a mistake or something, and he's falling into the clutches of Ryan Mazumda, who's kept it out of the wall so far, exactly where he qualified. But he's got Jason Ho charging him down, and that DRS coming to turn 4 though here, Mazumda.
If Mazumda keeps it on the road, he can. If Mazumda keeps it on the road, he can have a very, very good finish here. Perhaps get into second place. He would feel, but it's not like Ryan to be consistent. As much as I am rooting for him inside, it's usually a matter of time before he makes an unfortunate error. Although I would love to see him prove me wrong. Harry Smith has retired from the race. Meanwhile,
so
Ron Squire! Oh dear! Heartbreak, as he has no front wing. Shadow for front wing. But
he was on the super soft tyres, so he can maybe go for mediums to the end. So it's not as disastrous as it would be if he started on the mediums. But now,
as Jason Ho sets the fastest lap of a 109.1. On coming into the pits, look at the tyres and the flat spots. He would have to change them.
Yeah, huge flat spot. I think he's probably locked up into a corner and just gone straight into the wall because it's only a flat spot on the right front tyre.
Medium tyres as well.
I think he's gone off.
Oh dear, his Merlion teammate as well. James Herrera having another incident. Not ideal for Team Merlion with the CGP livery, which I forgot to install their actual livery, which is a bit of a shame. Anyway, Ryan Mazumda has kind of let Arena go here, and Jason Ho is right on.
Fast as Lewis Hamilton, I think. Safe to say that, but Ho is really closing in and he's going to be certainly wanting to get past Mazumda as quick as possible.
As he does. And I do apologise there, stream. I accidentally clicked my stop streaming hotkey. We should be back all fine now. Mazumda! I looked down at my screen for 1 second, and he
And there goes Ryan at turn 3. He would have had the DRS. He didn't have to be so trigger happy on the throttle there. That is all his own making, and he's going to.
But a lovely little move on Vanna Klotcher. Actually, a bit aggressive from Ryan, and Vanna Klotcher is going to get ahead of him. Anyway.
Certainly some good racing so far today, but we've seen a lot of people really outbraking themselves, especially on the inside lines. So not as much grip in these tyres as they would have clearly thought. We have to start thinking about pit stops now. We're approaching half distance, and these guys on the super soft tyres, the deg is going to be quite significant now. It'll be interesting to see who opens the pit window first.
Andrea Arena's got himself back
surprised.
into second place.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jason Ho is one of the first cars in, as he is on a charge and will want to get an undercut on the guys ahead of him. The less time he can lose fighter people, the better.
I'd have to disagree, actually, on that one.
Oh, he's on the medium. Yeah, he's on the medium tyres.
No,
Sorry,
he's on the soft tyres.
So he will be one of the last ones in.
And Ballas is on the super softs. Arena on... And the other... Ballas, out of the top 4, is the only one on the super soft tyres, struggling with pace a little bit, as you can see Jason Ho really hunting him down quite a lot.
Yeah, he was in second place a few laps ago, and look at the gap that he's lost. He's lost about 3 or 4 seconds to Arena and Perez up ahead of him. And it's only a matter of time until Ho gets past. It will be a simple pass into turn 1, if not before.
Eight tenths down on his fastest lap of the race is Jason Ho. And with DRS, it looks like it's going to be an easy one, though, here, as Ballas ducks into the pits immediately. It's given Jason
He's
a free
practically
position.
passed him before he opened the DRS.
So, 2 seconds only the gap to Arena, and 7 seconds the gap to the guy ahead. Ryan Mazumda coming into the pits at the end of this lap. He is in 4th position.
Right, so this will be interesting to see now. Now that Ho has complete clean air ahead of him, no drivers for a solid few seconds, and he's on the same tyres as the guys ahead of him. So now is the time to see how much faster is Jason Ho than these guys ahead of him. Meanwhile, my final prediction for the podium, Alfie Bevan, is nowhere to be seen.
Literally.
In terms of the top 3. I don't even think he took.
He
took
the start. No.
All right, so there went my prediction down the window, but everything else I think
I've
quite nicely. I said Ho'd have a bad start.
Someone lost their wheel there.
Ron's had another.
Someone's lost their wheel. Oh, it's Sean Jones.
Was one of the. I thought.
Has lost a wheel and he's limping at home.
We could see it actually. You could see it on the camera before. It was quite hard to see. He's lost his wing as well, so they must have had some sort of contact, and that's going to be a long way back to the pits. If we can have a replay, that would be nice.
I will try and give you a replay. Unfortunately, it won't be, perfect view, as Sean might pull over to retire here. Okay, here we go. We can see. Unfortunately, we're going to have this here, as it is a very lackluster replay. But, oh dear. So Ron loses it on his own with snap oversteer, and Sean just goes into him. Not Ron's fault. Racing incident, I would say. Probably Sean's fault for not avoiding him. Although, when you've got a split second, Ron's DNF'd, unfortunately.
I mean, it looks. We can't really say where that's happened because, of course, we have a bit of issues with the car's placement, but it looks like it's happened close to off the circuit, if not completely off the circuit. I think Sean should have been a little bit more careful on the throttle with the car spinning out in front of him.
Sean's going to get a penalty post-race for this as well. You are not allowed to carry on if you have 3 wheels. I suppose unless you're really close to the pits, especially doing an entire lap. He's got to...
He's done a whole lap, yeah. He's going to get a huge penalty.
In my eyes, that's when you've literally got half of your car missing, and he's had to retire into his pit stop, which... Pit stall, sorry. Had to reverse into it, which means as Jason Hogan's... Yeah, Sean's retired from this race. Pretty pointless there from the American. So, Steiger has had a flat spot on both of his left-hand side tyres in 10th place, fighting for 9th with Fulcenci, who we haven't actually heard much from.
He's had a quiet race.
This season, he's had a pretty quiet season.
Even, yeah. And actually, Jason Ho is the first of the top 3 to come into the pits, I believe. So he is going to go absolutely hammer and tongue now on those super soft tyres. Just push as hard as he can, and I think he's going to undercut Andrea Arena here. I think he's going to come out in 2nd place once everyone's pitted.
10 laps. He's got to have these tyres last for.
Should be doable.
Should be doable.
Ryan does that quite easily. So I think Jason's going to... He'll certainly come out in 2nd place.
Oh dear, Van der Klotje!
1st place will be a stretch.
Van der Klotje had a half spin there. He's lucky to keep that under control. Jason soars into 3rd place. Pretty lucky from him, actually. Unless Van der Klotje gets pretty lucky with his DRS. Jason's now cleared one of the... one piece of traffic And I'm
Actually,
sure
he might have got the DRS. He might have got DRS down the straight because he was catching that car at a considerably fast rate, being on fresh tyres. I think he would have got the DRS on him, and that would actually have helped him in the end, potentially. We'll have to see. Looked like that Van Klotcher just lost it, lost it on the exit, and Ho was very confident in the fact that Van Klotcher was not going to going to keep spinning in the way he was, because he took a normal racing line. It was quite risky, but it's paid off. He's out here with his car in one piece.
Minute to hand sets the fastest lap of the race, and here's something interesting for you. Jason Ho is in the net lead of this race. No, sorry, he is in the net second place. He will overtake Arena in the pit stops, and he's only got 3 seconds to the car ahead. This could be a nail-biting finale to this race. It's been an all-out sprint.
Of course, his tyres are older than the guys ahead of him, not by much, but a lap can make such a difference, especially when you have when you're on the softest compound. So he's going to have to look after his tyres as well, whilst catching up to Perez. But once he catches up to Perez, he can park that bus. So he has to decide what he wants to do here. Does he want to spend half of the stint attacking and the rest defending, or more go for a passive attack and therefore not have to defend as much? And he does come out in second place.
It'll pain
very
James.
easily.
It'll pain James to see it, but unfortunately, it hasn't been a race of attrition. It has been a race of all-out attack.
Certainly for Jason Ho. And I think I'd be right in saying I've said everything correctly, called everything in terms of Jason Ho's race, and I do think he's going to go and win this race. He's got the gap to close. He should be able to do it. Not much pressure from behind. No DRS for Arena. He's too far back. And wrap this one up.
It's going to be very close. A lot closer than you'd think, I would say. Number 70, Jason Ho, and number 87, Alejandro Perez. And that gap is forever closing. You can now see him. It's 3.2 seconds ahead. 2.9 now. That's the live gap, though, so you have to take it with a grain of salt.
Anthony's just said in the live chat correctly, because the Gillets, if they do not DNF within the next 2 laps, they are champions. Because after 75% race distance, you aren't classified, and as it stands, there is no way that Ozone can reach them because of Harry Smoot's DNF, and there's no way that AFP can reach them because there's only one car in appearance today. So, if they keep it on the road for the next 2 laps, Joe Gillet's team will have their first ever Constructors' Championship in sim racing, I believe.
You will have to let me know what the championship actually looks like. I have stupidly forgot to check the Constructors' Championship for this race. In fact, all season I haven't seen the Constructors' Championship. So you'll have to let me know.
Well, it's I can tell you now. It's a 24-point gap. And of course, a win is 25 points. So if you can get classified, at the worst, you'll get 3 points for both cars. So there is no closing that gap, as long as they keep it on the road.
Look at this gap closing now. 2.3 seconds.
Closing.
That's 8/10 since the previous lap. And Arena's closing the gap behind as well. This is going to be... It's going to go down to the wire.
Might I just give an honourable mention to Sid Kuma, who's in 4th place, having started 10th. He's had a very quiet but solid race so far. But he's got Javi Van Klotcher right behind him. I don't know if he's pitted yet.
If the gap is 24 points, actually, then that is incorrect.
No, it's 24 points.
So, no, that wouldn't be...
I trust it.
Is
I
that
trust
gap
in my math.
Is that the gap to Aspentino?
Yes.
That's... no, it is correct, sorry, because there's 2 Gillettes still running. I do apologise. I was going to say, because if Perez DNF now, that would be 25 points, and it would go to countback.
Oh, Anthony's just told us it's double-checked. It's actually 80% they have to complete. So if they complete lap 19 in one piece, they're champions. And actually, even if one of them DNFs, they will still win, because there have been there's still only 10 cars running. So a DNF with a few laps to go would be a classification of 10th place, which provides 6 points, minus that from 25, and you get 19, which is not
Of course, the top
bigger
15 is
than 24.
classified, isn't it?
Yes, but now it'd be top 10. Currently, Christian Stiga is the last man on track, and actually Sid has now come in for a pit stop and has dropped down to 9th, all over the back of James Herrera in 8th place though.
And oh wow, this battle is hotting up. We will quickly look at this battle for 8th. Oh no, there isn't a battle for 8th, I think. Or maybe there is. Yes, there is. So we're having a look at Sid Kumar, fan favourite driver as well.
Certainly.
He's going to open his DRS and have a go at James Herrera. But if you are so interested, keep an eye on that gap between Jason and Perez. It's now down to less than a second, I believe. We'll have to check. We'll go back to them, actually. I apologise, people who say that we only show the front runners. But this is such a big battle for the championship, really.
Here's where the battle is at.
That we'd be
Jason
stupid
Ho
not to show.
Jason Ho, bit of a random fact. Jason Ho, if he wins this race, that would make it 3 wins out of 3, the last 3 races for Team Ireland. Jason Ho won the lights race at Spa. Jake Dennehan won the Formula race. So if Jason wins this one, that's 3 Irish victories in a row. Potato party all around.
Praise to Steiger, by the way. Getting out of the way and causing no time loss whatsoever for Jason Ho. Brilliant.
You would expect that.
Brilliant. It was a pretty difficult situation as well. A lot of people wouldn't have been able to get out of the way there. Blue flags being very difficult to communicate, as I found out 2 weeks ago.
Here we go now, we're just waiting for a couple of things now. Not only is Ho within DRS range, Perez will cross the line, which means Gillett Juniors are the Constructors' Champions of SAL Light Season 1. Congratulations to Joe Gillett and all the team members there for a very successful campaign.
Yellow flags ahead, behind, sorry. Nothing happened yet. And this gap, Jason Ho has the DRS. He's finally in DRS range with 3 laps to go. Or 4 laps. I can't quite, I don't know
4
how.
laps to go. 4 laps to go.
It's going to be a nail-biting finish. Is Jason going to be able to get it? Is Alejandro Perez going to make that Gillette GP the widest car in existence? It's going to be very difficult. It's very easy to pass here using those DRS straights. So Alejandro Perez is just going to have to park it on that inside line.
I mean, it's one thing to catch a driver, it's another one to pass, particularly when your tyres are not only older, but they've gone this far already. You normally want to reach them earlier, so your tyres still have life and you can pull off the overtakes. We'll have to wait and see. Arena is not far behind these guys at all either, so it might well turn into a 3-way showdown, as Ho is certainly within DRS range coming into the coming on to start lap 21 now. 3 laps to go.
Going to brake as late as possible, and this is going to be DRS central heading into the next lap. Heading into the straight, sorry. Look at the graining on Jason's tyres though. Comparing that to the guys ahead, it's a lot worse shape, you can just see. He's going to have a lot less grip out of the corners.
Right front's the tyre that takes the biggest hammering here.
He's going to really have to do this on the straight. He's going to have so much less grip through the corners come the next couple of laps. There's 3 laps to go now, and look at how close they are. Alejandro Perez with a little bit of a lock-up. He needs to not flat spot his tyres. If he flat spots his tyres, it's over.
They've been here before in this section of track where Perez did indeed lock up and went straight on in the braking zone, and Ho swept past. This time Perez keeps it on the road though through Junsao, and everything looks fine from Perez, but all will not be fine once Jason Ho opens that flap in his rear wing.
Perez can go all out now. His team are Constructors' Champions, so it doesn't matter. Or if he wants the race win, he can afford to go for it. But he is going to have to defend with all of his life as that gap, 4 tenths on that corner exit, no, 6 tenths. Perez has got such better tyres as we head with 2 laps to go. This is going to be such a nail-biting finish. Is a word I've said about 3 times.
And neither of these drivers have much to lose. None of these drivers have much to lose. Actually, if it finishes like this, Perez, if Ho gets past Perez, he would, if Fanacloch is in 4th, tie for points with his teammate, I believe. No, actually be ahead of him by 1 point. So there is a little bit to lose for Perez in terms of the bragging rights within the team. So I'm sure he'll just want to keep it on the road. But Ho certainly has absolutely nothing to lose with a lap and a half to go. And Joe Gillett has just realised in the live chat that they are champions. Congratulations to you, Joe. For a stellar season and to your
Oh no,
drivers
mate, Jason
in particular.
makes a little mistake. That's going to cost him dearly heading onto this final lap. That gap has gone to a second already. He's not going to have the DRS, I don't think.
No, I think he was within he was just within the detection zone.
That could be a lifesaver. It is going down to the final lap, down to the wire in this final race of the SAL Lights Championship. Just to think, this is what we're going to miss out on next season in Automobilista. Look at how close that gap is. 0.6 of a second. That gap is going to get so close.
Him with 2 corners to go. He's going to catch him with a few corners to go, but you just can't pass.
This is going to be dive bomb central from Jason Ho. We're riding on board. We probably should have gone to the external cams now. But look at that. So much gained through that fast right-hander. Now, it's the slowest part of the track. Jason has got so much older tyres. Even a lap is going to make a difference. But Perez locking up, so characteristic of him in this lap.
He's got to try and switch back. He's got to try and switch him back coming up to Jun Sao. It's his only chance.
Slight mistake from Perez, but that gap just is just too big, I think. It's just going to be too big unless Jason makes a massive, well, he's made an error. It's over.
He messed up. He messed up his run there. And unless he can get the DRS, it's going to be Perez who wins it.
Alejandro Perez for Gillette Jr. is going to come home in the lead. He's going to win both the race and the Constructors' Championship. What a drive from the Gillette Jr.'s driver. And what a nail-biting finish that was. Right, we're going to have some stream interviews now as we go to this.
And Moreno not too far behind either, but yeah, Jason in the last sector, he messed up his line through the I don't know what corner this is, the one that Hamilton and Albon had contact through. He just messed up his line there, too aggressive on the inside and compromising his exit. Completely wrecked his chance of getting a run through Jun Sao, coming up to Jun Sao and through it, and Perez was just far enough in front. But a nail-biting finish there. Well done to both drivers.
So, if Joe, you want an interview in the race, feel free. I'm going to quickly exit out of AMS as we are over. You can hear the virtual fans are going absolutely wild for that one. But we have got our race leader once I exit Automobilista. Who, James, do you want to take the interviews?
Yeah, sure. I'll do them, sure.
Because I have the interviewing skill of a literal donkey.
Oh, you're selling yourself short.
Anyway, we have got the race leader, and he will be joining now. So, James Smith, take it away.
Alejandro Perez, well, perfect race, I guess. You got the launch at the start, you won the race, your team have just won the Constructors' Championship. How does it feel?
Yeah, thanks. It was a great race. I have a good pace. Jason, you can see he was like a half second faster at the end, but he couldn't pass me. But yeah, Constructor Championship and third position, I think, in the Drivers' Championship.
You've just pipped your teammate by 1 single point to the third in the championship.
1 point.
1 point.
Wow. That was close.
Yeah, but also I want to cast your mind back to the start of lap 2 when Menno Dehaan was on your inside, sent one, and clattered into the side of Jason Ho. What were you thinking there? And did you think Jason was gonna come back and take the win, get past you?
I saw on the first lap Jason overtaking me and Menno Dehaan crashing into it, but I was thinking before because I know Jason has an incredible pace and I was looking her times in the race, but I think he will pass me at the end, but great.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic season from you. Do you think you want to keep competing in lights, or do you want to go up to Formula now?
I will race in other championship the next year, but lights was great. It was super funny, and I really love to race here. So thanks.
Yeah, well, I'll let you go now. It's been a cracking season from you and
Yeah.
your team. So take a well-deserved break and hold your head up high. So cheers for the season and wish you the good luck in your future endeavors.
Thanks. Good luck too.
Alrighty, Tom, if you can drag some other people in, please.
Let's go speak to a very happy Joe Gillett. Joe, I think this is about to be the happiest.
Hello, Joe.
I think this is about to be the happiest
Hello.
I have ever seen you. Or heard you.
It probably will be. I really did not expect at the start of the season to be where we are.
I mean, neither did I. Yeah, you had two pretty nothing against them, quite unknown drivers within the community. Of course, most of us has come from our factor, and they were never there in the last
yeah.
few years, at least. So yeah, it's been very impressive. Did you ever think at any point in the season that you would actually win the constructors? Because after Austria and round 3, 4, and 5, you know, as every round goes on, it's like we can actually do this.
Well, yeah, I actually, because it was so unlikely, I haven't really been paying too much attention to it until the recent rounds, and when Jarvi was fighting for the win at Zandvoort, I thought it might actually be on. But I was never sure until, well, they were 24 points ahead. So it was looking pretty likely. But I never thought it would actually happen.
Oh yeah. And in terms of your drivers, what are your intentions with them? I presume you want to keep them in the Gillett GP overall program. But if Lights is to be continued, will you want to keep them or promote them to Formula and find other drivers? Because
Well,
they've proven they can do it in Lights.
really, it's up to them. But I think they're good enough for Formula, and they both already race on R Factor 2 with Gillett GP in Spanish leagues, and they do quite well. So hopefully they can go up to Formula, or if they want to stay in Lights and do well, I don't mind, just as long as they keep up their performance.
Yeah, well, next time I'll be with you will be probably next week in the SRS for round 5. But until then, take care. And
Yeah, you
celebrations
too.
can start now. Bringing the champagne out.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye-bye. Alrighty, next up, I think we'll take Jason home in here.
Yes. Right, before James starts.
It is...
Sorry, James. Jason, commiserations.
No, Tom, go ahead.
So desperately, 9 tenths in it at the end. I bet you're gutted.
Just hold on just a sec. Sorry, what is it? My mic's a bit. My mic's a
You
bit
were,
slow.
well, Tom was saying you were only 9 tenths off the win in the end. Must feel pretty gutting because it looked like you were gonna pass him all the way up until, well, you didn't.
I mean, to be fair, after what happened on lap 2, I was like, okay, we got an interesting race going on, so I just drove as fast as I could. I caught up to the end, but the dirty air was awful.
Yeah, the dirty air really
Impossible
looked
to
pretty
pass.
bad.
It was impossible to get close to him, so like I was always staying within that 1 second range, but I didn't get close enough. But you know, it was still a fun race.
Yeah, just the nature of the track. I mean, if there was if the back straight was in sector 2 and not sector 1, you'd probably have got past him. But it is what it is. And where did you think you would end up after the contact with Menno Dehaan? I mean, Menno is going to be interviewed now. I'm pretty sure he'll take 100% blame for that because it was a ridiculous, well, not as much ridiculous as opportunistic move.
Yeah,
When
it
you
was
think
just a
through.
misjudgment. I think it wasn't. I don't have anything. You know, it's whatever. It's racing.
Yeah, okay, that's a good attitude to have. And yeah, some fantastic overtakes. What was your favorite overtake coming through the field?
Let me think. I quite like the one I did against Ryan on the outside of turn 1. I think that was a nice one.
Yeah, that was very good.
It was fun. No,
That
genuinely,
was
like,
very good.
I think I preferred making my way up to the field rather than being at the front. Like it was more enjoyable.
Yeah. It's more enjoyable, yeah. The result might not always be the best, but it was enjoyable. Of course, you already had the championship sealed up. Unfortunately, AFP miss out on the constructors with 100. But actually, you scored every single point for AFP this season. Very much. and you've managed to finish second in the constructors. So fantastic season from you. You scored a podium in every
very much.
race except, I believe, podium in every race
The
except
one I DNF.
2. You didn't have to Monza. You came 4th as well. But
Yeah,
fantastic
My
season
luck's
from
not
you.
been great.
Absolutely
But yeah,
fantastic
fun.
season. So
Been a great season. Thank you.
will you try and compete in lights next season if it's there, or do you want to just focus on Formula now?
If I'm able to, like if I'm not away to uni or anything, I will, I'll give it a shot wherever we are. Maybe R Factor 2 even.
All right.
It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be lights.
All righty. Well, take care and hold your head up high after a very nice season, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
All righty.
Alex,
Next
I
up
was- I
should
was-
be Menno Dehan.
Just before we go to Menno, I was thinking we need to give a massive well done to Jason. We've seen a lot of drivers in this series have an incident and kind of just be like, have an absolute hissy fit. All caps swearing, you're worst person I've ever met. All of this.
Yeah, and he didn't bat an eyelid. He didn't say anything. Just got on with the
Even
race.
though
And that's...
you have to say it cost him the race in the end.
Yeah, completely. I mean, yesterday, after I'd been off for the 4th time in 5 laps, I lost the plot a little bit and then just calmed down. And yeah, you have to calm down and keep racing because the more you complain, the angrier you get, and then you'll probably make more mistakes. And also, no one wants to see you complaining. So just that's the right. Jason,
Let's bring in Sid Kumar.
I'm
Sorry, James.
yeah.
Discord lagging up.
I really admire. Yeah, I really admire Jason's attitude. It's very mature and fantastic. All right, we'll bring in Sid then. In the
Sid
meantime.
and
He's
then
my
Menno.
driver, so I'm gonna have some. Yeah. All righty, Sid. First question. Can you hear us?
Yes.
All righty, perfect. So that's the season done. That was a P7 in that race. Unfortunately, you lost the P6 right at the end. But still, you must be quite happy with that result.
Yeah, it's Tom's fault. She just decided to send a message on the chat on my final corner while I was on the braking. So I lost it and went into the wall. It's fine. P7, we'll take it. It was a good recovery.
Yes, it certainly was. In the championship, I believe you've actually ended up in 8th place in the end. So in the top 8 in the championship, did you expect that coming into the season?
No, no, definitely not. I don't think so. I don't think I ever thought I was close to as good as I've shown I am this season, or I hope I've shown.
What was your highlight of the season? What was the best moment, best race? I mean, I think I know what the answer is going to be, but what is it for you?
Stanford qualifying for sure.
Yeah, I knew that was coming. The race as well, you did a very good job recovering from P7.
To be honest, I liked this race better. I think this race, I drove really well apart from the first lap. But apart
Hey,
from that, it was
what
a
happened
really-
on the first lap?
It was a bit messy. I was on the outside of turn 1, 2, 3, and then at turn 5, 6, the 2 fast right-handers.
Yeah.
Sean Jones was in front of me, and I broke at the normal point where I would normally brake, thinking that between me and Sean is like a huge gap, so I could just brake normally and then carry the speed and make a couple of overtakes. But I think Sean said he's being a bit careful, cautious, and he broke a little bit early, and I just went straight into the back of him.
We'll
And,
see how it turns out in the end. But I think your position in the championship in the drivers and constructors is secure. So overall, I'd say it's been a very consistent season. And as your team boss, I would like to thank you for your consistent appearances and motivation to drive.
Yeah, I think only one DNS in the whole season. If I'm not
I'll just
mistaken.
check. Yes, and that was because your laptop was acting up, and thankfully that got
Yeah.
fixed. So we thank you. You've been one of the fans' favorite drivers this season. So we thank you for the season you've had,
Hey,
and take care
wonderful.
now. Have a
Thank
break.
you. Yeah.
Right, so we're
All
gonna
right,
have to-
finally, Menno Dehan.
Yes.
Unless we don't have the time.
I mean, we probably don't have the time, but up to you.
Oh, I feel bad for him. Let's get him in here. All right, Menno. I've got to make this quick because we don't have too much time, but pretty decent race. If you forget the incident on the first lap, it was an okay recovery drive from you. How would you sum up that race?
Pure nightmare.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, very straightforward, pure nightmare.
Missed
Actually,
opportunity.
I wasn't even meant to be in the field, but okay.
Missed opportunity, I guess, after that turn one. What happened? Did you just outbrake yourself, or was there something wrong with
I
your equipment?
kind of made a move on the guy in P2 because I was having overspeed and I broke. but kind of locked up. And I thought, oh, Jason is running a bit wide, but he just took a bit sharper line, and then he cut straight in front of me. And in my anger, I said I steered in on him, but he steered in on me. But that was like pure my own mistake, and I totally respect that.
All right. How would you reflect on your season in total? You haven't done too many races, but you did manage to get a victory at your home race. So,
Yeah.
how would you sum up the season so far? Well, as it
Yeah.
was, because it's finished now.
Yeah, that's a tough question, kind of. I mean, it's my first season. I missed out on Australia. Then Ryan asked me to be test driver in Bahrain, and then he promoted me to actor racing in Spielberg. And Spielberg was kind of my first race. I hit it Alex in the formation lap, which was pretty stupid, and I was really stressed about it and stuff. And then finishing P1 at Sandford was really good, felt really good. And yeah, then it kind of went backwards to DNFs. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, I don't really have a word for it.
All righty. That was a pretty good answer considering it was quite a vague question. But that's all I really have to say. I think we really need to wrap the stream up because Tom is going to be probably moving his legs up and down really quickly, wanting me to be done with this
I
interview.
just want
So
my toast.
Yeah, no.
of course, every time, Tom. It's always a piece of food or tea or something. Anyway, that's been this season. Menno, we thank you for participating, and
Yeah, thank
I
you
guess
for
you'll be.
streaming.
I guess you'll be back next season.
Yeah, I'll starting my own team.
All righty, perfect. So
Yeah.
we'll see you then. And in the meantime, take care.
Yeah, you too, guys. See you in Formula.
Yeah, and speaking of Formula, the race starts in just under 20 minutes, so I think that's probably why Tom wants me to hurry up because we've got to get that stream set up. So, Tom, I'll let you do the closing.
Nonetheless, thank you all very much for watching. It's been a brilliant season, actually. We'll see you all on R Factor 2, I guess, or we've got one more race coming up. Going to be a tough off-season, I think, James.
Yep, me and Jacob on the comms for that one. The Formula race in just under 20 minutes.
And I'm going to
Make
go
sure not
and
to miss
have
it. It's the
a...
finale.
I'm going to go and have a rest and play some dirt rally. So I would like to thank you all